Hey, welcome to Five with the Founder, where we get to steal your heart for 5 minutes and tell the truth about the work behind the work this time. It's your girl, Neda Kellogg, founding executive director of Project DIVA International. And today we're hearing from the adults who walk alongside these girls. I'm talking about the directors, the coaches, the facilitators, and some of the parents who are choosing to grow with these girls. In PDI, our girls commit to intentionally developing in the areas of emotional regulation, mental fitness, and financial curiosity. Now, what we haven't been talking about is the commitment that these ladies have to take that also supports the kind of growth that we have to commit to while doing the same work. So, as we're making space for these girls, we're having to emotionally regulate ourselves in all those three areas, right? And that's because this is what we feel shared development looks like. So, as we get into this 5 minutes, I want to welcome Keeya Allen to Five with the Founder today. Hey, girl.
Hey girl, we're
This is so
here.
exciting. I know. And it's
Mhm.
super cool because starting off with you, kicking the season off with you, or the series off with you, is pretty special because you've been one of the ladies who've been with me the longest. Like we've been in this for over, I think like around 14, 15 years at this point.
Mhm.
And so to be able to actually talk about like the work behind the work is really, really cool with you today. So welcome to Five with the Founder.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here in front of the camera instead of behind it.
I know. Well, to hop into it, we've been walking alongside these girls in this cohort season, specifically while also committing to our own growth.
Mhm.
And I would say again, this is almost 15 years of growing together. So I want to ask a couple of questions, like a couple of the same questions that I asked the girls, but I just want to get your adult perspective.
Sure.
All right. So, emotional regulation.
Mhm.
As you've intentionally made space for the girls to process and grow emotionally, how has supporting them required you to regulate your own emotions with
Mhm.
more intention?
I would say over the years, because yes, it was 2011 when I became a part of Project Diva, now Project Diva International. And so one thing that I always held true to is being the change that I wanted to see, being who I needed when I was their ages, but also I'm not a hypocrite. So I'm never going to ask anything from them that I'm not doing myself. So as they were charged with things to do, that I had to do the stuff too. Like, oh my God. And then I have to show back up and tell them, report back. Like, how did that work for me? Like, oh my God, it's not working. Right. And sometimes through the development, right? Now I'm very successful in my shit. It's been a long time, right? But in the beginning, right, when I'm working out my kinks and all of the things, the best thing I could do for them was be transparent, right, and be settled in with that and just hold myself accountable, hold myself to it. Do I want to grow? Do I want to be good, or do I want to be great? Which is something I always ask them.
So this is funny because again, this it'd be the adults that I gotta roll back the question. Okay, so I
Okay.
love all that because definitely that has been our journey. My question to you
Oh God.
is how has like supporting them required you to regulate? Like, how have you been doing it? How have you been regulating your emotions as you've been in like with more intention to be the example for the girls? Like, because we come with our own set of traumas that
Hmm.
we've literally worked through in front of them. And you know
Hmm.
how we're sitting down with them, we're saying, okay, so okay, you a hothead, okay, so this is some of the things that you can do, right? Like, so what have you been doing?
I would say through the years, just being more to be more in control is to set with myself, like what can I control? I can control myself, you know. And so that's number one. And so I don't, and what are the things that support when I'm not controlling myself? Who am I around, or what's the environment like? Or, so I protect my peace at pretty much all costs. It doesn't mean that I don't have my times where I might still be um upset or have to emotionally regulate. And so some of the things that I do, I usually allow myself, I'll get quiet so I can unpack that and set with it. So it might take me 2 to 3 business days to circle back. Or I just, being more in tune with like listening, not just to whatever might have triggered me on the outside, if it's people, but listening to myself. And so knowing myself. And so that's where the power hour comes in and being able
I
to
was waiting
unpack
for you to, I
and,
was waiting for the mention.
and to unpack like how I show up. How do I choose to be? And then even for the girls, right? I chew the meat, spit the bones, right? Yeah, I might get upset, and then they know with the passion in my eyes and the tears in my eyes, I ain't fucking around, right? But with my power hour, I'm able to regulate how I show up and what supports me is showing up my best, right? Being prepared, leaving on time, or being, dressed for my success. All the things, eating and all those things help along the way. So just being more conscious of myself, setting with myself, and knowing that I don't have to react. I respond. And so when I'm setting and developing my response, it doesn't have to be right away. So I think that's one of the biggest things too. You always want to be heard, or you want to be, because a lot of times things can be misunderstood or misinterpreted as I'm saying them, because I don't really have a gray part. So it's either like black or white. Like when I finally get maybe the courage, or I'm like, okay, I'm just going to say something and I hope they don't take it wrong. Sometimes it's interpreted wrong. And then I'm like trying to apologize for how I came out as opposed to just being like, no, here. So processing, allowing yourself to slow down, breathe, and you don't have to you don't have people's lack of planning is not your emergency. So I might have to talk to you tomorrow.
I love that. And considering that many of the girls in this year's cohort, almost pretty much all of them, I wouldn't say all of them, some of them had other ways that they shared how they regulate their emotions, but
Hmm.
a lot of them did say the power hour. And knowing that you are the creator of the power hour for, our group of women and girls is really it's amazing to see how that one habit that we all
Hmm.
have chosen to adopt as our way of paying ourselves first
Hmm.
has moved the girls into such regulated nervous systems that we actually get to see as they walk into adulthood. So again, we love you and appreciate you for bringing that to the organization from your company called the Love Initiative Group, so that we have a organizational wide way of making sure that we come emotionally regulated to our space or sharing with each other how to get better at it. So just wanted to throw
Absolutely.
that at you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Absolutely. So the mental fitness pillar, as you've coached the girls to strengthen their mindsets and daily habits, one through the power hour, but just also as being one of the aunties in the squad, right? What
Mhm.
habits or mindset shifts have you had to strengthen in yourself to show up healthy and consistent for them? And use the I and me in this one.
Okay. Um, I know for me, one thing that I have through the power hour and being a self-love and leadership expert, right? And always talking about the self-love piece, like that is very pivotal, no matter what role a woman or a girl has, no matter who's involved in your life, you have to begin with self because that's the only greatest way that's the level of people where people will meet you at. And so one of the things I unapologetically do is get rest and have to because I'm an overthinker and my brain moves a lot and I'm constantly thinking. Even when I dream, I mean even when I sleep, I dream a lot. And so I probably dream 6 out of 7 days of the week, right? And so being able to rest and sometimes pencil in my rest. It might be I'm fortunate enough to have a hybrid schedule and kind of put my things together. And so sometimes it might be before my evening meetings start, I get an hour or I'm queen nap or literally saying, even though I might have, because you know how we get on the phone and we ideate, and I got an idea. I was driving in the car. Let me tell you what I heard, girl. And so even we've agreed to, right, allow each other to rest because we could talk about this stuff all day long, which we do.
Because it's
And
our passion.
we're so passionate about it. It's not even like stressful. Like I'm just talking and I just need somebody to get it out to. But
Mhm.
even being mindful in that to saying, okay, no, today's Sunday. I'm going to let her rest and I'm going to get me some rest. Or I'm going to make sure that I am nourishing my body. So rest, eating the right things, listening to my body when I don't maybe feel well, or I can feel that maybe I had too many sodas today or this week. I need to hydrate water, or that meat didn't set well, just all the things like so just breathing, rest, nourishing my body. I'm very big on breathing exercises, prayer, and I cut the TV off. I'm not big on TV, so just listening to what I found, and I said this to myself like this last kind of like week or so, because I do like listening to the silence. And I used to live off a busy street growing up, and I would hear the cars go by, hear like the ambulance, whatever was going on, I could hear it. And now I like to sit in the quiet or sometimes music, but I like to sit in the quiet, but it allows me to listen to myself. A lot of times
Hmm.
people have to cut on the TV because they don't want to hear their thoughts, and I get excited about hearing my thoughts or that time with God or just being able to ideate. So
Hmm.
those are some of the things that I do. They help me a
I
lot.
love that. I love that. And I feel that being the examples of that alone also allows for our girls to understand earlier in life that that is a vital part of their self-care,
Hmm.
and their mental fitness in regards to the habits that it takes for us to get at living these purposes fully,
Hmm.
right? And being able to pay our bills.
Hmm.
So I
Reminding,
love that.
I was gonna say too, and reminding them that it's gonna be there tomorrow. Like, so when you do the power hour and you write your list, you know what needs to be done today. And then what can be done tomorrow. That's okay. You don't have to rush and have it done. And
Hmm.
like, and when they say I don't feel good or they're stressed, or I always be like, and so what's your rest been like? So that feels good to be able to call them out on it so they can take time for it.
Absolutely, lovingly.
Yes, absolutely.
Ah, this is good. So the last pillar, the financial curiosity pillar,
Hmm.
as you've supported the girls in becoming curious, not fearful about money, how has this work challenged or deepened your own relationship with finances and long-term planning? Again, use the I in me.
Yes. Well, I know one of the, because I've been on this journey with PDI for 15 years, I've watched our financial curiosity pillar grow, right? And so at first it was like, oh, we working on how to keep our checking accounts positive. Then you got a savings account. Like, I don't know, and the banks and all that was great for me. I was doing that then, but you feel like, okay, I got this, and I'm still young. But now I'm older, and one of the things that we have developed is, being a part of like our investment academy, and we all have Roth IRA accounts, right, that we're contributing to, and we have an advisor, who coaches us, a Mrs. Solange, that just always there for us, and so she's just a phone call away, right? And thankful for the people who came before her, but also with her, like with that, and so us what helped me tremendously is separating my finances into different buckets. Now, of course, retirement. I had a retirement. Okay, cool. Right. And then you got a savings. That's supposed to be for emergencies. But then you look up and your whole life be an emergency. Like, what is this? Like, it's like, I don't have it. I ran out of money. Like, oh, I gotta go to my savings, right? The car breakdown. Oh, we want to go to that concert tickets, right? Oh, flat tire. Oh, I'm sure I'll go to eat. Like, everything's an emergency, right? Oh, you need this. I'm an auntie. I've been an aunt since I was 9. So I get some of those calls where I'm making dreams come true. I'm auntie, how much? I don't have children. So, well, how much it costs? All right, just go on and so it's all an emergency, but now it's not. And so, which
Mhm.
I love. So we have our emergency funds, which I have to have that because I have to provide for my life. So, and things happen, right? Cool. Then we have our short term, our lifestyle fund. That is where all the maybe entertainment, travel, right? I'm a giver. And so part of me is connected. I have to balance it, but part of me is connected to giving and just circulating, right? So that's that. And then there's the long term. I have to invest in my future. When you gonna retire? If you ain't got no money in there, then what are you gonna be doing? So I don't want to be desperate. I don't want to be the old lady in the shoe when I got just this little old check that I'm trying to put together. I don't want to have to do anything strange for some change. But
Okay.
the pretty work when AT got to get out. Okay, it's okay.
Right. I agree. Uh,
Yeah.
that's good. That's
Yeah.
so good. And I so definitely can attest to that as well. Like I think let me get a little more clear when I say she's been with us for the 15 years. She came in at 27, right? So for
Yeah.
us, she was in that at the very tail of that alumni space and at the beginning
Hmm.
of her womanhood space. Like that's when girls we really walk them into womanhood around 27. And so now you're in your 40s. And
Hmm.
so we really have grown through not being told about how money works to being told how it works so that we can actually grow financially and not still be in the same place, 10, 15 years from
Hmm.
10, 15 years. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely, it has been a joy to go from, I know a little bit about money to like really being intentional about the relationship with each other, right? And it's not
Yeah.
just individually, but it's literally as a sisterhood
Hmm.
with the girls. And so, yeah, that has been a special space for us.
Yeah. And being able to call it out, like when people be trying to like talk money or talk over our heads and swear they got their money together, and you're like, well, how much do you have a Roth IRA? Do you have one for your children? And then they're like, kind of stuck. But also, I know for me, like losing my parents and losing my grandparents, also one of the realities for me, and I always talk to the girls about it, is there, that's it, So unless Nita Renee puts me in her
You know, I got
crib.
you for life till
You know
our
what I
last
mean?
breath.
Like, you gotta
Hashtag.
put like, but for real, like that's real. So you have to
Real.
know what's coming to you too. Like,
Yeah.
so some of those things where you have to intentionally put that money because you know that you might not have, or you do have people to, I got my emergencies, but I gotta have my step,
Yeah.
and so there's not a
Yeah.
dad or a
Absolutely.
mom coming to be like, oh, I got it. No worries, babe. It's like, yeah, nah, I gotta have it together. So also
Mhm.
for our for young women all over, but specifically for Black girls, because our stuff is generational, right? And so we don't have the generational wealth that's been set up for us a lot of the times. And so you have to know what's coming to you, right? If your dad, every time a parent is absent, every time, just all the things, right?
Shoot, the parents can be
Parent can be
the parents
present.
be
Listen,
parents,
the present is still,
yeah.
and
They
they
can
need
still
something
can't
from
lean
you.
on listen.
Right. I got family and friends where the parent calling for they like, well, wait a minute, dog. Ain't got two nickels. But so all the things you have to know your dynamic, and it may not look like
Like
your
everybody else's.
friends or your cousins or your auntie or whoever. It may not look like the next person's dynamic. So also be aware of what is in your financial future or what may be coming down the pipeline so you can be prepared.
Yeah. Absolutely. I love all that. And I want to say that this is all premised, those are the three pillars, and it's all premised on who each girl is individually as
Hmm.
well, in regards to who she feels she is, but then also what she envisions for her life, because that's also different. And so making sure that people, like our girls, are slowing down to articulate what the lifestyle looks like to then measure things, everything, those three areas up to that at the fundamental level, because then we know it's to the moon, baby, after that. But
Hmm.
they have to have that foundation to even think that they can create the lives that they envision in real time. And
Hmm.
so it has been amazing watching your growth since you was 27, one of my first coach babies.
Yes. Yes. Just dream a
And
big
being able
dream.
to be here as one of the seasoned women who are leading these girls. So my last question before I close is, what has surprised you most about your own growth while supporting theirs overall?
What has surprised me? I don't feel surprised. I feel I feel like I truly don't feel surprised. I'm a dreamer. And so what well, okay. What has surprised me, but this is way back then, right in the beginning in 2011, is that I was able to connect with you and connect with an amazing organization through Project Diva that lined up, right? I came as a volunteer and I supplied jewelry for a fashion show. But it wasn't a style show, it was a fashion show, and all the things I've always been passionate about, mentoring, and back then that's what we called it before I was coaching. But all the things I was very passionate. So what surprised me then was being able to speak my dreams to
Mhm.
within an organization to a woman such as yourself who helped me developed them and never snuffed them out a lot of times because people can't see it. It's like, oh girl, you just dream me out and you go, people don't do that. People get jobs and people go do this and that. And it's like my dreams, you know. And to have people that used to, I don't want to say laugh at my dreams, but maybe doubt the things that I was saying, and to watch them, they watched that happen for me. And now they be like, what you over there doing? And they don't inspire their life, you know. And so to the surprise for my life was being connected to something greater than myself that pushed every dream, every idea that I could think of, every title that I could
And
think
still
of.
think
And
of.
still think I'm like, and then I'm this now, you know, and it's supported, you know, and then and now I really know who I am because I've grown through all that. And the girls have watched me do it.
Yeah, that
And they're
part.
like, I remember when, and the times that I've cried, they've cried, we've cried together. They've watched me all the things, go through things and be just loving and transparent. So that's the biggest surprise. There was a surprise then, but I was surprised and I worked it and I worked it. Now I own it, you know, and it's just, when I walk in the
Know who
room, it's
you
on
are.
me. I know who I am. Yes.
It's the I am method. What?
Yeah.
I better ask
Ask somebody,
somebody.
Cookie.
Well, I think I'm gonna turn this into 10 with the founder because I forget
Yeah.
as adults could go longer.
You
So
know, I
now
like
this
to
is
talk.
10 with the founder for the adults, okay?
That's it. A
So
little more season. Need a little more season. A lemon pepper on it. A little more lemon pepper.
people only saw us. These are how our
This
meetings
is
be going,
funny.
y'all. We be having so much fun.
Real talk.
Anywho,
Real
as
talk.
you watch our videos, learning about our girls and now the adults who support them, I invite you, our community, to notice something important. That this work doesn't just change girls, it's transforming the ecosystems around them. Thank you, Keeya, for joining me today. I super,
Thanks
super
for having
appreciate you.
me.
You
Yes,
are definitely a part of this ecosystem, roll out, build out, all of the things. And it has been
hmm
so fun being your sister girl all these years.
I love you.
I love you more.
All
Whether
right.
it's your treasures, your time, or your talents, every investment strengthens a path beneath all of our feet because we are walking alongside these girls. If something you heard moved you, connect with us, stand with us, and invest in development that's happening in real time for girls and the people committed to guiding them. So click the link below to sponsor a girls membership because self-discovery is their birthright and modeling growth is our responsibility. Until soon, you all. We'll see you next
Absolutely.
time.
Peace.